जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय गोपी जन
गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजन
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन
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 यमुना तीरावनचारी
यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी।
दास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके bhaktir-bhavati naishtiki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 1st Canto, 11th chapter, text number 12. Sarvartu sarva vibhava sarvartu sarva vibhava punya vriksha latashamaihi punya vriksha latashamaihi उद्यानोपवनारामैर् वृता पद्माकर श्रियं वृता पद्माकर श्रियं सर्वर्तु सर्वविभवा पुण्यवृक्षलताश्रमैः उद्यानोपवनारामैर् वृतपद्माकरश्रियम् सर्वर्तु सर्वविभवा पुण्यवृक्षलताश्रमैः उद्यानोपवनारामैर् वृतपद्माकरश्रियम् सर्वर्तु सर्वविभवा पुण्यवृक्षलताश्रमैः उद्यानोपवनारामैर् वृतपद्माकरश्रियम् सर्व all ritu seasons sarva all vibhava opulences punya pious vriksha trees lata creepers ashramaihi with hermitages udyana orchards upavana flower gardens aramaihi pleasure gardens and beautiful parks vrita surrounded by padma akara the birthplaces of lotuses or nice reservoirs of water shriyam increasing the beauty. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The city of Dwarkapuri was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water breeding lotus flowers all over. Please repeat. The city of Dwarkapuri was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers all over. Purport. Perfection of human civilization is made possible by utilizing the gifts of nature in their own way. As we find herewith in the description of its opulence, Dwarka was surrounded by flower gardens and fruit orchards, along with reservoirs of water and growing lotuses. There is no mention of mills and factories supported by slaughterhouses, which are the necessary paraphernalia of the modern metropolis. The propensity to utilize nature's own gifts is still there, even in the heart of modern civilized man. The leaders of modern civilization select their own residential quarters in a place where there are such naturally beautiful gardens and reservoirs of water, but they leave the common men to reside in congested areas without parks and gardens. Herein, of course, we find a different description of the city of Dwarka. It is understood that the whole dham or residential quarter was surrounded by such gardens and parks with reservoirs of water where lotuses grew. It is understood that all the people depended on nature's gifts of fruits and flowers without industrial enterprises promoting filthy huts and slums for residential quarters. Advancement of civilization is estimated not on the growth of mills and factories to deteriorate the finer instincts of the human being, but on developing the potent spiritual instincts of human beings and giving them a chance to go back to Godhead. Development of factories and mills is called Ugra Karma or pungent activities, and such activities deteriorate the finer sentiments of the human being and society to form a dungeon of demons. We find herein the mention of pious trees which produce seasonal flowers and fruits. The impious trees are useless jungles only, and they can only be used to supply fuels. In the modern civilization, such impious trees are planted on the sides of roads. Human energy should be properly utilized in developing the finer senses for spiritual understanding, in which lies the solution of life. Fruits, flowers, beautiful gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, with ducks and swans playing in the midst of lotus flowers, and cows giving sufficient milk and butter, are essential for developing the final tissues of the human body. As against this, the dungeons of mines, factories, and workshops develop demoniac propensities in the working class. The vested interests flourish at the cost of the working class, and consequently, there are severe clashes between them in so many ways. The description of Dwarka Dham is the ideal of human civilization. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We discussed in the last class how the city of Dwarka is being described here. Why? Because Lord Krishna is coming back to Dwarka. We saw that Dwarka city was protected by the strong warriors of the Vrishnis, Andhaka, Bhoja dynasties. Just like the Nagas, they present the subterranean regions. And now the beauty of Dwarka is described here. What is the beauty? You are seeing many factories, many mills, workshops, slaughterhouses. No, that does not make place fit to live or beautiful. The beauty is this: Sarvartu Sarva Vibhava. Dwarkapuri was filled with opulences of all seasons. So Krishna has given every season an opulence. In winters there are different opulences. In rain there are different opulences. So in every season there is opulence. So all these opulences filled Dwarkapuri, like Punya Vriksha Latashramaihi. Trees, they make a place very beautiful. But the trees and plants are also pious and impious. They are also living entities. Just like among the human beings, we have pious living entities and impious. Similarly, trees also are pious and impious. What are impious trees? Which we are very fond of planting in this age. So this age is fond of doing impious activities only. People are impious, the trees are also impious, animals are also impious. So we are very fond of impious things. So pious trees means fruits, producing trees, very wonderful fruits, fragrant flowers, they are produced. And impious trees means they are good only for fuel, they can only produce woods. But unfortunately, people don't take interest in fruits. On one hand, they are telling that we don't have sufficient food to eat. On the other hand, we are planting many, many trees which don't produce any fruit. On one hand, we are telling there is shortage of food grains. On the other hand, we are growing swathes of land are consumed up simply because they want to grow tea and coffee. What is the need? There is no need. Shall we die without drinking tea? No. But we want to produce it. Produce something, create artificial necessity, and then spoil our health, spoil our money. This is our expertise. So live in scarcity of food and produce something which is not wanted. So this is impious. Similarly, impious animal. Cow is very pious animal. Now people are giving money simply to hug cow. What is that called? Therapy? Cow cuddling therapy? Something they tell. Huh? Cow cuddling? To embrace cow, they would spend money. So there is a very famous nature cure institute in Bangalore. So people go there to get cured. And what is the treatment there? So many trees they have planted, some water reservoirs they have created inside, and some stones they have planted on the road. They will walk on the stones barefoot, and they will live in the midst of trees, and they would walk and run a lot entire day, eat fruits, roots, these simple things, and they will pay 17,000 per day for this. There is a package for 15 days to eat fruits and roots like a sadhu in the forest. So something which is available for free, people are paying for it to get cured. So Krishna has designed civilization in such a way that we automatically remain fit and we remain very happy. So we will remain fit when we follow the laws of nature. So these things are required for a happy mind. So Prabhupada tells that these are when we see the greenery around us, we see the lawns, and we see the waters, the fountains, they purify our mind. We feel so pleasant when we look at these things because the mind gets purified by all these things. But unfortunately, we have made our civilization where there is absence of all these things. And thus the finer tissues, finer sentiments are being lost. This is called Ugra Karma. When we work hard in today's factories and other workplaces, workshops, that is called pungent activity, extremely passionate activities. By this, demoniac propensities arise in the heart. And we lose the finer sentiments which are required to understand spiritual life, to become happy in life. So impious trees, impious animals, cows are kept away, which is very pure. Simply by embracing the cow, you get cured of the disease. Simply by drinking the milk, we get all the nutritions. There is no need to kill animals and take animal fat, protein, etc. Cow milk has got all the nutritions. Simply drink cow's milk. The presence of cow purifies the entire house. Cow is so pure that even stool and urine are purifying. What to speak of keeping the animal at our place. And we have kept impious animal dog. Dog is given entry into the bedroom. So how pure is dog? That dog goes and eats stool also. And with the same mouth with which it is eaten stool, it will kiss you. And people take it at great pleasure. If somebody eats stool and kisses you with the same mouth, is it good activity? But people enjoy that. So dog puts in mouth in all dirty places. So there are two animals which are expert in eating stool. One is pig, another is dog. And people embrace. So just see, this is degradation of civilization. So this is the misfortune. When people become impious, then they are surrounded by all impious things, impious trees, impious places of residence, impious animals. So human life is meant to go towards piety. That is why Chanakya Pandit says that as much as possible, Kuru Punyam Ahoratriyam. Ahoratra, aha means daytime, Ratri means night time. So as far as possible, try to do Punya. Kuru Punyam Ahoratriyam. Don't waste time. Either materially or spiritually, time is very, very valuable. So do it for pious activities. If you utilize time for materially pious activities, you will get better facilities by which you can advance in Krishna consciousness. You will be comfortably placed. And if you are intelligent, do spiritual pious activities, but don't waste time. Do pious activities. Don't do impious activities. Kuru punyam ahoratriyam. But now we are doing Kuru papam ahoratriyam. Every moment we are utilizing to do sinful activities. This is today's civilization. Why this is happening? Because we are associating with Durjan, impious people. That is why Chanakya Pandit says, avoid the association of impious people. This is very, very important. This is the first duty of a Vaishnava, to avoid the association. Our entire life, piety, impiety we cultivate because of the association that we have. That is why the first duty of Vaishnava is to give up the association of impious people and live in the association of pious men. That is why Prabhupada told we have created so many centers. So all these centers are meant to give devotee association to the people, where we have pious food, we have pious people, and in this way we can advance in piety in our life. We build finer tissues in our body by which we can understand Krishna consciousness and make our life perfect. This is the first step. So that is why Chanakya Pandit says that give up the association of non-devotees and always have the association of pious people. Tyaj durjan sansargam bhaj sadhu samagamam kuru punyam ahoratriyam smar nityam anityatam. Always remember, because when a person is doing impious activities, it gives pleasure to the person. So why should I stop doing impious activities? Chanakya says you should stop because you should always remember that this world is not going to remain always. You are indulging in pious activities, but this is not going to stay always. As soon as you finish this body, you will get the results. Even in this body you will suffer, and once we finish this body, we will get very, very severe reactions. So always understand that this world is temporary, time is very, very less. So that is why every moment that we have got in human form of life, in other forms we don't have freedom, but in human form of life we can choose. At every moment we have got free will. At this moment I want to do pious activity or I want to do impious activity. Impious activity means suffering, pious activity means pleasure. So every moment should be utilized very, very carefully. And for this we have to have Tyaj Durjan Sansargam, leave the association of impious people. And for this purpose, the centers of Krishna consciousness are created, where people should be given chance to live with the devotees. All our habits depend upon the people whom we live with. If they cannot live, at least every morning and evening people should assemble in these centers and discuss about Krishna. Discussing about Krishna is the most pious activity. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. This is the foundation of entire pious life. The foundation of all the activities is hearing, whether pious or impious. Why we do impious activity? Some Durjan came to us. He told, let us go and drink. It is very nice. It is fun activity to drink, to do drugs, to do impious activities. We heard and we got carried away. Similarly, when we hear about spiritual life, it is pious activity. Never mind, we don't understand, but hearing is important. As much as possible, we should try to maximize our hearing, because we are increasing punya in our life. And when there is sufficient punya, we will understand Krishna. So hearing about Krishna is the greatest pious activity. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. So at least we should try to engage in this pious activity of chanting and hearing about Krishna every morning and evening. In this way we will be engaged in pious activity. And when we engage in pious activity, then automatically we are able to advance very, very peacefully in our spiritual life. And for this, of course, this is required to live in a place which is having opulence of all the seasons. That is why people would live in India. that many times people ask why all the incarnations happen in India, why not in other places? So actually all the civilized people were living in India only. So other places were inhabited by tribals or other people who were less intelligent, who were not so civilized. Anybody who's having sense, why he would live in such places of extreme weather? So here there is opulence of all the seasons. Prabhupada explains in your country, 10 o'clock there is morning and 3 o'clock there is night. So that is why they wish good morning. They are able to see sun in the morning. They consider it as good morning. Otherwise we see morning every day. What is so good? For them it is very rare to see sun. Sun is visible for a very short while. But here always the sunrise sunset time is almost fixed. Otherwise it is very, very dynamic, very dicey. Sometimes evening is happening at 9 o'clock at night in some countries, 10 o'clock at night. So there is very odd time of sunrise, sunset. But here there is all opulence. All the fruits are there, vegetables are there, all varieties of hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers all over. This is required for a sattvic life. Sattvic life is happy life, and happiness is required for spiritual advancement. However, we need not get discouraged. A quick process is recommended by the Goswamis to come to sattvic level, and that is simply by taking shelter of pure devotee. Does not matter. We can still go to the same hellish factories, workshops, or live in cities like Prabhupada openly called London. When reporters asked, when Prabhupada was describing, Swamiji, you describe about hell. What is hell like? So Prabhupada told, it is like this only. Your city. So all the cities are hellish. Like we are in Mumbai, this is also hellish city. What is good about it? 3-4 hour person is packed up. Like the pigeons are carried, or the hens are carried in vans. Like these people are, like the animals go to slaughterhouse, they are going to, anyway, office is also slaughterhouse. So say, they go get slaughtered every day, come back, gain some fitness, again go the next day. And who gets benefit? Just few people who are the proprietors, and the working class is getting slaughtered every day. So just for the interest of few, Prabhupada writes here, the vested interests flourish at the cost of the working class, and consequently there are severe clashes between them in so many ways. So the Chief Justice, or former Chief Justice, he said that India is not advancing. Why? Because of the trade unions. So these trade unions, they are on strike. They don't want to do any automation, because automation means loss of jobs and other things. So why they are always agitating? Because they are so much disturbed. The working conditions are so bad, they are always disturbed. Thus their agitation, creating all these things. So the employees, they are suffering everywhere. Whether you are having white collar job, blue collar job, there is suffering. Only few people, they enjoy, and the masses, they suffer. So otherwise, this huge amount of money we are paying to embrace the cow. This is available for free in the village. Embrace as much as you want. Sit on the cow entire day. Nobody will charge money. No need to pay 17,000 per day for nature cure. You are living in nature. Go to the farm. So I was speaking to one of my relatives. He is having severe pain, chronic pain. So much that he cannot walk also. And but he tells, when I go to village, then all my pain is cured. There is no pain. I can stay in the field. I can work in the farm also. There is no pain. All pain simply vanishes. And when I come back to city, the pain again starts. So it's a therapy. It's part of the therapy. People go and live in hill stations, live on the seashore, and they are able to get rid of the severe diseases also. And this civilization is designed by Krishna. It is available for free, and people were living very, very comfortably. So this Sattva Guna is very much required to advance in spiritual life. However, we are very fortunate that wherever we are situated, we can immediately come to Sattva Guna despite the living conditions or working conditions. And what is the process? Sthane sita Shruti-gatam punsam tanuvang manobhir ye prayasho jit-jitopi trayas trilokyam. So Lord Brahma explains how to understand Krishna, how to become Krishna conscious. So a devotee is not worried about hell or heaven. Narayana para sarve na kutashan bibhyati swargapavarga narkeshu api tulyarth darshinaha. For a devotee, hell and heaven, everything is same. He is not disturbed, he is not afraid of hell. Rather, the devotee is very enthusiastic about going to hell. Why? The whole world wants to avoid hell. They do so many procedures at the time of death so that the living entity does not go to hell. He is saved from going hell. But the devotee is enthusiastic to go to hell. Why? Why devotee wants to go to hell? To preach Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada told, next I'll go to hellish planets to preach. Because there is a lot of scope for preaching there, all impious people. So Prabhupada told, I will go to hellish planets and preach. So hell is very, very bad. But for a devotee, hell is also transcendental. Prabhupada gives very nice example. So there is a devotee who asked question to Madhu Pandit Prabhu after one of the Bhagavatam classes. So the Mataji was very much distressed. And she told Prabhu, I am very much distressed. Why distressed? Because, Krishna is living in the heart of a pig and Krishna is suffering. Pig lives in filthy place. Why Krishna has to suffer for us? So Prabhu explained, no, Krishna does not suffer. Pig is living in the drain and Krishna is in the heart of the pig, but Krishna is not living in drain. Krishna is transcendental, living in Vaikuntha, although Krishna is present in the heart of a pig also. Krishna's situation is transcendental. Similarly, a pure devotee situation is also completely transcendental, and this point is extremely important for us to understand. We should not strive to change external circumstances. We can live in drain, in a filthy drain, and still remain fully in bliss. This is the situation of devotee, pure devotee. That is why Swarga Pavarga Narkeshu Apitulyarth Darshina. Whether in hell or in heaven, the devotee is not at all scared in going to any place. Because he is transcendentally situated, just like Lord Narayan. He is living in the heart of a worm of stool also. But Lord Narayan is not living in stool. Narayan always lives in Vaikuntha. Similarly, a pure devotee always lives in Vaikuntha. Never mind he is in hell or in heaven. Na kutasthana bibhyate. This is called the situation of pure devotee. That is why Prabhupada explains. So the devotees of Krishna consciousness movement who are going to their factories, they should not be misunderstood to be ordinary karmis or materialists. No. So the devotee is going to factory so that by the result of his work, the money which he is earning, at least 50% they use in the service of Krishna. So they are not to be understood as materialists. They are all having the consciousness of a sannyasi. So even though one is going to a hellish place, but still one can maintain consciousness of a sannyasi if he goes there to work for Krishna in Krishna consciousness. So what we require to do is do nothing but simply surrender to a pure devotee. Jnane prayasa mudapasya namanta eva. Give up the habit of mental speculation, trying to understand Krishna using our limited brains, just like ant trying to understand the sciences of human beings. Ant cannot. We cannot understand God using our intelligence. So we should become humble, submissive. Jnane prayasa mudapasya namanta eva. Namanta eva means become fully surrendered. Tanuvan manobhi, by mind, body and words. We should become fully surrendered wherever we are. We are situated in a place of passion, a place of ignorance, or a place of sattvaguna also. Wherever we are situated, we should namanta eva, become fully surrendered, tanuvan manobhi, with mind, body and words. And sthane sthita, wherever we are situated, shruti-gatam, we should simply keep on hearing about Krishna. But this hearing will be effective when we are surrendered. So we simply need to surrender to a pure devotee, lead our life as per his directions, follow 4 regulative principles, 16 rounds, basic rules and regulations, which Acharya Srila Prabhupada has given us. Then simply by following these instructions, wherever we are, we would be undisturbed. We will not be living in any city or any village but we'll be living always in holy dham like Vrindavan or Dwarka. So that is why we should not be afraid. Those who are less intelligent, they plan like this. Let me go to another place, peaceful place. And if we are not in Krishna consciousness, even in peaceful place, we would be disturbed. So all these people who are coming to cities, or who have come to cities 1 or 2 generations ago, ultimately they came from villages. Why they left villages and came to cities? Because they were not happy there. So thus one will be disturbed even in a sattvic environment if one is not Krishna conscious. And he will end up becoming more and more disturbed. From villages they come to cities, and from cities they go to brothels and slaughterhouses. In this way they keep on degrading themselves. So we need not worry about any place. We simply need to surrender fully and just keep on hearing about Krishna. Try to live with the devotees. At least every morning and evening visit a Krishna conscious center and hear and chant about Krishna. So simply by this we will be able to live in Dwarka. With this we will end unless there are any questions. Yes. Yes. He is transcendental, yes. Yes. No, Krishna is personally present there. But wherever Krishna is present, that place transforms into Vaikuntha. So why the worm in the stool is not feeling Vaikuntha experience? This is spiritual dynamics. Just like the same non-devotee you bring here. So this is Vaikuntha where we are living. He will get disturbed here. His life will be full of Kuntha. Oh, there is no movie here, no sports here, no girls here. Oh, this is hell. He will tell. There is no non-veg. There is no mundane entertainment. So this is hell. Where are you living? So for him, Vaikuntha will be Kuntha, full of anxiety. So that the same place is acting as a place free of anxieties, and the same place is full of anxiety for another person. So thus Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, is not different from Krishna. It will manifest only when we are advanced in spiritual life, when we are in service attitude to Krishna. So the same Narayan or pure devotee of Narayan will experience Vaikuntha in any place they live, and ordinary people will be. So the same material energy behaves like spiritual energy for devotees. So the same energy, just same example, policeman. Policeman is the source of, it strikes great fear in the heart of a thief. And it strikes great confidence in the heart of law-abiding citizen, the same policeman. So same material energy behaves materially for non-devotees, and the same material energy behaves spiritually for the devotees. Yeah.
So while we live in our houses or in like
Yes. Yeah.
they are always advised to keep the place always neat and clean.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do we understand? So if we, even if we are not putting so much.
Because Krishna is transcendental, we are not. Yes. So a pure devotee, he need not clean the place. Just like advanced devotees who are Paramahansas. So they were just like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. He would dress himself with the cloth which was used to cover the corpse. And his vessel in which he would soak rice water, that was human skull. So in this way they are violating all the principles of cleanliness. And where he was doing japa, in the place of where people would pass stool, lavatory. So but they are completely transcendental. So that is called just like Nityanand Prabhu. Nityanand Prabhu was floating where crocodiles would live, in the water. So this is called Avdhuta. He would ride on the oxes, and he would try to tame the crocodiles, and he would beat children on the river bank. And the parents would come and complain. So what is this? Why Nityanand Prabhu is beating children and taming crocodiles? This is called Avadhuta. He can do anything. So the pure devotees, they need not do cleanliness. As Madhavendra Puri has told in his prayers, I have given up my rituals of doing Gayatri, of taking regular bath and all these things. So they are pure devotees, they are transcendental, they need not follow. So Krishna is definitely present, but we will not be able to feel Krishna's presence unless we are in Sattva Guna. So because we are conditioned, that is why we need to follow these principles of cleanliness. For pure devotee, no rules.
Sometimes people ask this question that why Prabhupada many times, and we also have Prabhupada tells the civilization is artificially creating needs. And people ask this question many times, but these needs you people are also utilizing. You are using Zoom
Yeah.
and all this advanced technology at the same time utilizing also.
Yes.
So how to understand this?
So that is called best use of bad bargain. That means somebody creating that is a bad process. There is no need for it. But if somebody has created, we can utilize everything in the service of Krishna. Just like the impious trees should not be grown. If you plant very nice mango tree in that place, guava tree, pious tree, then we'll get fruits also. You get other benefits also. But suppose impious tree somebody has planted, we use that also and we do yajna for Krishna. Then that tree also advances. The one who has planted impious tree, he also will make advancement. So devotee is expert in utilizing everything for Krishna, good or bad. But there is no need of such artificial thing. That is expertise of devotee that he is using that for Krishna.
Somebody can say that today we are going to preach all over the world because of this online technology.
Yes.
So how you would have preached if this technology was not there?
So this technology was there previously also. How this Bhagavad Gita came to us? Online only. Online or whatever line you call. And their line was very strong. They were able to see past, present and future also. Ramayana was composed before Ramayana happened. So thus the communication, everything was very, very strong. But Prabhupada explains people were not very much interested in all these things. Because they were knowing ultimately human life is very, very short. And let us utilize for spiritual perfection instead of all these material contrivances. Otherwise, all these technologies were present. Electricity was there, missiles were there, flying saucers were there. We have description in Krishna book. Demons were taking more interest in such things. Devotees would save time, lead a simple life, and go back to Godhead.
Like when we are generally we said that we should not use anything which is not made by a devotee in service of the Lord. Like,
No, we don't say that.
but if food is not made by
Sometimes, yeah, it is told, don't take money from non-devotee, don't accept food from non-devotee. From non-devotee, nothing should be accepted. That is a general rule, yes. But acharyas are very kind. In this yoga, everyone is impious and non-devotee. So thus they have allowed. So what Krishna will accept depends upon the spiritual master. Anything which is offered by the spiritual master, pure devotee, Krishna will accept that. Any food which he offers to Krishna, any person whom he offers to Krishna, they will be accepted. So because all this offering is accepted by pure devotee, never mind coming from impious sources, and Prabhupada is offering to Krishna. So that is why it is accepted.
it does not fall for like we are using food which is not made by a devotee.
Yeah.
And neither we offer it directly to Krishna or Prabhupada.
Yes.
So that using technology also does it
Yes, so if you use technology for Krishna, then we will advance. And if you use for sense gratification, we will degrade. So anything which is used for Krishna, it helps us advance. It makes us, you hear Prabhupada's lecture, you watch Krishna's video, read the Vedic literatures, then we become very peaceful by the same phone. And if we do other stuffs, we become disturbed by the same phone.
There are some disagreements between prostitutes and Krishna and it is coming from like 1200 years ago, Krishna came in personality. And here also we can see that he was also previously
Impersonalist.
and the Kumaras also. So my question is that will there be a point of time when we may come to a conclusion that mutually that this is the disagreements will be come to an end and a single conclusion can be
No, disagreements will always be there. That is the nature of this world. All philosophies have always existed. Sometimes some philosophy becomes prominent, another becomes weak. But all philosophies have existed always. All the opinions have existed always. Demons also have existed, demigods also have existed. Which life is better, demigods or demoniac life? Who enjoys more? Demons or demigods? Demigods enjoy more. Any difficulties there? Who is protected? Demigods are protected by Krishna always. Still people don't become demigods. Why? People will not become. So even though they know that this path is better, but they will not become demigod, they will remain demons. Similarly, even though perfect conclusive philosophy is already given, but still people will not be able to follow because of their modes of nature. Because they are in tamoguna, rajoguna, that philosophy will appeal to them. Kill cows and kill brahmanas. Don't save them. So thus everything will exist always.
Prabhu, I said that to get into Satvaguna, you have to follow. For example, you follow Ekadashi. So, by following Ekadashi, sometimes, like, for example, Nirjala Ekadashi, we get sometimes frustrated. And because of frustration, the consciousness gets impurified. And in impurified consciousness, we find something from little offenses. So, even in austerity, we are not able to follow
Yes.
consciousness.
Yes.
How do we expect advance?
So that is why everything has to be done in regulation. One who eats too much cannot become yogi. One who eats too little also cannot become yogi. So that is why the food or the fasting that we are following, it should not be too much that we become lazy. It should not be too less that we become disturbed or we lose our health. So what is too much or too little depends upon person to person. So that is why for example, even a person is sleeping, let's say 8 to 10 hours outside. Suddenly he starts sleeping 4 hours, he will get diseased, will not be able to advance. So eventually we should minimize our sleeping to 4 hours or even less, but it should be gradually done. Okay. By this practice of Krishna consciousness, same thing. By following all the rules and regulations, why mind is disturbed? Again, because of impious activities. All the disturbances at mental level, physical level, any external supernatural level, all the disturbances are because of impious activities that we have. So we have to become more and more pious. The more we become pious, the disturbances will go away. So we have to follow all the rules and regulations strictly. And the most important is very attentively trying to hear every word. Online?
One does impious activities, we have to suffer in this material world. Some people suffer on earth and some go in hellish planets. People say there is suffering on earth, which is only hell. Srila Prabhupada said London is hellish. Do we understand that all on earth are sinful?
Not just earth, everyone in this material world is sinful. Material world is a prison house. So unless somebody is sinful, nobody will stay here. So everyone has a combination of pious and impious activities. So not just on this planet, but in the entire material universe, everyone is sinful. In higher planets, sin is less, lower planets, sin is more. And as far as hell is concerned, yes, in this earth also we suffer, but there are definite hellish planets which are specifically meant only to give punishment to the living entity.
Like we have more than one Brahma, whether there is any chance of more than one Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, but he expands himself into many, many forms. Supreme can only be one, Supreme cannot be 100. So God has got unlimited forms, not just 100, but unlimited. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. He has got unlimited forms, but all these forms are of one person. Govinda Made Purusham Tamham Bhajami. He is called Govinda or Krishna.
I am a teenager boy at home. We have a lot of Mayavadi literature and my parents read them. They are telling me to watch a bhakti show with them of an institution. They are totally Mayavadis. So should I watch that or hear those stories from the Mayavadis?
No, we should not hear at all. We should strictly avoid. That's it.
For a school student, 16 rounds is minimum because I do 2 rounds.
School student, college student, non-student, for everyone 16 rounds is mandatory if we want to go back to Godhead. If we want to wait for certain lives, then we can delay. So as soon as possible, and it is only an illusion that by saving time we will be able to do something else. It is only illusion. I have not seen any school student failing any exam who chants 16 rounds, and specifically I have seen all the devotees who don't chant 16 rounds, they fail in all the exams. So Krishna also teaches nice lesson. So I have seen devotees, sometimes the parents, they follow nicely, but they are following because they have nothing much to do. So let me follow Krishna consciousness. So we get, some parents, they are vegetarians, but Prabhu, let my kids eat eggs, no, they'll get protein. Let my kid chant little less so that he can study more. So proper understanding is not there. So all in such cases where they have minimized their chanting from 16 rounds to clear something, all of them have failed without exception, without exception. And there have been students who never compromised on their chanting. They had faced some of the toughest examinations of the country, and they have come out with flying colors, almost all of them, who were sincere in chanting and everything. So if we are sincere and strict in our Krishna consciousness, we have to understand Krishna is so kind and merciful, even though it is not there in destiny, Krishna provides it to us. So I have not found any devotee not doing good in their material life also. In material life also they do very well. Krishna takes care of everything. So a devotee is taken care of spiritually, taken care of materially, but yes, we have to follow the rules and regulations very, very strictly. So please do not remain in illusion. Time will get wasted like anything. So save time, save yourself, start 16 rounds as soon as possible.
What is difference between hell and earth?
Hell is a place for punishment, just like there is torture room with the police and other places. So similarly, hellish planets are meant only for torture, immense torture. And Earth is one planet which is situated in the middle of the universe.
Prabhu, why hibiscus flower is not used in the worship of Krishna?
Why hibiscus is?
Not used in the worship of Krishna.
I do not know what is hibiscus. What is that?
Hibiscus flower, it doesn't have fragrance though.
Okay. So Prabhu is telling it does not have fragrance, that is why we don't use. So the flowers which do not have fragrance should not be used in service of Krishna. They are again impious. Pious flowers have fragrance. It is regulation of deity worship.
In school, you were taught that cleanliness is next to godliness. Could you explain its concept, Prabhu?
Yes. So godliness means Vasudev platform or Shuddha Sattva platform. So in this way we evolve. There is Tamoguna, then there is Rajoguna, Sattva Guna and Shuddha Sattva Guna. So Sattva Guna is next to Shuddha Sattva Guna. Godliness is called Shuddha Sattva Guna. And next to it is Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna means cleanliness. So unless we are very, very clean inside, outside, our clothes, our belongings, our room, everywhere, we cannot go to next level, which is godliness.
At times, we get carried away by career aspirations.
कितना क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं आज? Okay, very good. Okay, yes. Yes.
At times, we get carried away by career aspirations. Sadhana,
We get carried away by?
career aspirations.
Okay.
Sadhana and health, favorable for bhakti, get compromised running after corporate brands.
Hmm.
How can we stay constantly aware of the necessity of bhakti?
That is why we discussed devotee association. So if we associate with non-devotees, then we will get carried away by their qualities. And we will suffer physically, mentally, emotionally at every level. So please live in the association of devotees. At least every morning and evening, chant and hear, discuss Krishna consciousness in their association. This will fix all the other maladies that we have in life.
Last question. What could be the consciousness of the soul in his previous life and has taken birth in a pig's body in current life? Just like it is mentioned, tiger's body is given to those who are fond of meat eating. So what could be consciousness of a person of soul who is pig now in his previous life?
So one can become pig either by degradation from a human being or by evolution from the lower species. So lower species, it is gradual. So they have to come to this pig and they will evolve further to higher forms. Now human being, when it acts like pig has no discrimination in eating. It eats anything and everything. No regulations in sex life. Does lot of illicit sex. So those who are not regulated in eating, mating, they get degraded to pig form. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय, विश्व गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Subscribe to our channel, and to get the latest updates, do not forget to press the bell icon. Hare Krishna.